Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Google+ and Google Hangouts, how Google Hangouts and Google+ help you monetize your passion. If you're new to Google+ and Hangouts, or if you have yet to fully implement them in your business or your blog or your social media strategy, listen up. You are about to hear some amazing information. I recommend having a pen and paper handy because you'll either hear valuable information that you'll want to remember, or you'll hear something that sparks your creativity and gets your wheels turning. Either way, it's going to be a fun hangout today. My name is Krystalle. I'm very excited to be here today with Yifat Cohen, who is a Google+ and Hangout expert, a gifted teacher, and a really good friend. Yifat Cohen has become the genius of Hangout technology. By pushing its capabilities beyond its limits, she has secured herself an expert role in this growing platform. She's the founder of G+ Go-To-Gal, and she ranks as one of the leading Google+ social media and mobile marketing experts. Business rock stars, DocStock, Datamation, and Rise to the Top, Diamonds in Your Backyard, and Entrepreneur on Fire are just a few of the mediums that have featured this Hangout savant. To her credit are speaker, strategy, and Google+ coaching skills. She teaches how to hang out, how to optimize Google+, and how to use Google+ for business. Yifat is one of the very few non-Google employees who've been invited by Google to present as an expert on one of their own products, the Hangout, at a Google office. Her expertise is such that she's often flown globally to countries such as Mexico, Brazil, and Israel to speak on behalf of Google. Now, besides Google, her client roster includes the Office of the Governor of Texas, Mashable Social Good, and Versus, to name a few. As part of her accolades, listen to this part, she's ranked as the #1 top Google+ users within Google+ marketing. She was also voted in 2011 as the best Google+ user by the Google+ community, along with ranking number 286 on Who's Who for Google+, and being found amongst the top 1,000 Google+ users in the world for 2012. I can personally attest to Yifat's teaching skills because I've been learning from her about Google+ and Hangouts for about 5 months now. She is a patient and gifted teacher and prides herself on practicing what she preaches. I'm honored and privileged to introduce my Google+ mentor and my awesome friend, Yifat Cohen. Welcome, Yifat.
Thank you so much. Guys, can you believe that 3 months ago, this lady was not doing any Hangouts? Now she's monetizing. I'm amazed. Thank you so much, Krystalle.
You're welcome.
Okay, so what we'll be talking about today is how to monetize your passion with Google+. I'm going to throw a lot of content at you. Relax, lay back, listen, let the content inspire you, and know that there is always a replay. You can always come back to this and watch it again. Okay, so let's dive in. Let's talk about what we'll be talking about today. So I'm going to share with you what Google+ is and why you can ignore it no more. We're going to talk about how online life became exactly the same as offline life and what it really means to your business. The one word that will change everything you do right now. And trust me, it's not visibility, traffic. We're going to talk about online exposure. To me, it's a given. I'm going to share with you so many ways of how you can get exposure for free online. And the one thing that you really need to worry about when it comes to getting loyal clients. And then we're going to dive in. We're going to talk about Hangouts and how they can give you back your time, how they can free you from business travel and give you back the special family moments. We are here in Texas, so football is very important and nobody wants to miss a football game, their kids' football game. We'll talk about collaboration and how you can use Hangouts to work within your company. We're talking about how Hangouts level the media play field, how you can do even better than famous TV stars, and then how you can do it just as good as famous TV stars. Do it very professionally. And finally, we're going to talk about how to make money from the things that you really love to do. So the first thing that I would like all of you is to comment wherever you are in the event page or my own website and answer this one question. What do you think is the one trick that will allow you to double your comments on your Google+ posts? Whatever comes to mind, just put it in the comments and we're going to refer to that later. I think that by the end of this presentation, you might have your answer, but I'm very curious to see what you think right now. Okay, so let's talk what is Google+. Google+ is not Facebook. It's not Twitter. It's not LinkedIn. It's not a social website. You can manage all of Google+ activities from within Gmail. Because of that, Google+ is a layer. It's a platform that connects all of Google services together, and it affects your ranking, like you saw in my trailer. So think about it for a second. Why are we here? Why are we on the web? Why are we using social media? We want to be found in search, in Google search, when people are looking for us, right? By using Google+ and all its services together, and I'll show you how they're connected, you can build your authorship, which is a new term that Google is now using to rank people rather than just pages. And authorship is so important that, see, I think I do. Eric Schmidt, who is the chairman, who was the Google executive chairman, wrote in his new book, The New Digital Age, he said, within search results, information tied to verified online profiles will be ranked higher than content without such verification, which will result in most users naturally clicking on the top on the verified results. And we all do that, right? We all click on pictures. The true cost of remaining anonymous then might be irrelevance. Now, irrelevance is a pretty strong statement, right? You do not want to be irrelevant to Google. So basically what the message is that if you want your content to rank in Google, you have to build your authority, your author rank now. And Google hasn't taken that position very lightly. They are now connecting everything with your personality. They're connecting your profile, they're connecting your Gmail, they're connecting your searches, your YouTube. Everything that you do online shows Google who you are. And now just being on Google+ and now just creating a profile doesn't really help. You know, you got a profile, you're good. You don't have a profile, you're not good. How much authority that you have is a really big deal. It's going to be a very big deal. And just to show you how everything is integrated with Google, how all the services are integrated, you remember when YouTube integrated the Google comments into, when Google integrated the Google comments into YouTube. And now you cannot comment on a YouTube video without being logged into Google. And it became a big deal, you know, everybody got upset about that. But what it did actually, it reduced spam because now people are commenting as themselves and nobody wants to look, you know, badly online. And so that type of integration is a big deal, and it ranks businesses and pages based on what Google sees that you're doing across all platforms. So what does this lead? This lead to there is no longer page one of Google on Google search at all. Google launched Search Plus UWorld a few years ago. And what it means is that if I'm searching for a topic and Krystalle is searching for a topic, we might see completely different results because Krystalle is connected to different people. She's located in a different place. We're not in the same place. She searches for different things. She talks about different things. So her results are going to be completely different than mine. And so if any of you out there already continue to receive messages from SEO companies promising you to be on the first page of Google, you should be, you know, back off. You should be very wary about those companies. In the last 6 to 12 months, Google made so many changes that affect your ranking and discoverability on search that, you know, we don't have time to get into all of them today. But what you should really know is that tactical SEO, basically just link building and keyword stuffing, that's gone. Google removed organic keywords from analytics even, and instead it's looking to see what they know about you and to serve you the best information, the most relevant information to you. And they're continuing to work on that. So if there's no more page one of Google+, what is there? What is there is Now, Google Now. And if you're using Android, you're probably familiar with this service. Google is trying to know what you want before you even ask for it. So as an example, I came back from my speech at Evan Pagan event in Miami a few weeks ago, and I received a notification with Google Now that my flight was delayed before it was even announced. So Google is getting to know so much about us that they can give us information based on everything that's connected. And as a side note, if you've heard about Hummingbird, what Hummingbird is doing, that's a latest Google algorithm. And what it does, it understands language. It understands the meaning and the connection between the words that you are saying. So if I'm saying, Ifat bought Krystalle's red car yesterday. Before Hummingbird, the search engine wasn't aware of the relationship of these words. They didn't know whose car it was, what the color referred to, who owned the car. Now with Hummingbird, they understand the intention, and they can also make predictions based on the last question that you asked. So for example, if I'm asking who is the president of the United States, and it says Barack Obama, and I'm going to ask how tall is he, I don't need to say how tall is Barack Obama. They already know I'm continuing the conversation. So computer and the Google algorithm is becoming very, very smart. And what does it mean to us? It means that the impact of this algorithm is going to be very substantial in the next 2 years or so. So what we're going to get is reduced access to raw data, and we're rolling out technology that allows Google to know who we are and what to give us in real time. And what does it leave us with? It leaves us with word of mouth. Basically, when Google knows your relationships, when you build your authority online, your content is going to show up in search, like you see here, with your little picture next to it. And so if Krystalle is searching for Hangouts and she sees my picture, automatically she has an affiliation with me. She's going to click on my content before she will click on anyone else that she doesn't know, because there's some kind of trust that was built between us. So this means that trustworthy answers from someone that you know will get more clicks. And this is true even if we perform our searches incognito. Incognito means that we are not logged in and Google doesn't know who we are and what we're searching. But people with authority will still have their picture showing up in search. That means that if you build your authority and Google thinks that you have the best answer for the niche that you're in, the topic that you want to be known for, even if people are not connected to you, they will see this little picture, and that's going to increase the click-through to your content. So how Google decides what who is the authority? They're basically building it from the ground up. They're looking at the content that you produce, and they're looking at who's sharing it. So if everybody knows that Tony Robbins is the guy to go to when you want to go for personal growth, Tony doesn't need to say that about himself. Everybody knows, everybody knows Tony's the guy. So if everybody knows you're the guy for iPhones, iPad, jewelry, then you don't have to say that much, because Google will already know, because everybody else is saying that you're the go-to guy. Does that make sense? Krystalle?
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. And I love where you're going with this is, or at least what my brain's connecting is, wow, so if I am creating valuable conversation and valuable information, and I have everything hooked up in my backend accurately, not my backend, but the website, then I can be the one who's seen as an authority. And from that point, it's really it's word of mouth, just like it is in real life. We get to do word of mouth marketing, and so we now have, people on the internet now have like reason to produce real valuable information. Like, there's not going to be as many people trying to trick the system with SEO tricks and stuff, because those tactics aren't going to work the same anymore.
Exactly. And I love that you say that, because this is where Google is going. They don't want to allow people to trick the system anymore. And there's so much spam. Now actually, if you're looking at that, guys, when you're searching for everything, notice, do you have a lot of spam? Or are you getting more relevant results to what you're searching for? And that will be an indication to you personally of where Google is going and how far they've gotten in knowing who you are and what you're looking for. So if now there's only word of mouth, And the biggest question is, how do we get there? How do we get to be featured on Google search with a little picture there? How do we let Google know that we are the authority? And this is, guys, the one word that will change everything that you're doing today online. Oh, I'm sorry, before that. How do we let Google know? This is, again, it's not who you know, it's who knows you. So if you only have 2 followers on Google+, and those followers are Oprah and Obama, basically that's all you need, right? If you only have like 5 followers, and those 5 followers have 10,000 of followers of their own, and you have great connections with those 5 people, then you know you're pretty important. Then you have a reach. Then your post and your content and your information have a reach because of the reach of the people that you're connected to. So how do we, okay, so another way that Google gives you authority is by the people that Google thinks are an authority. And if they have you in circles, that tells Google that the people that they think are an authority think that you are an authority, and you kind of like borrowing the authority from those that already established it with Google. So again, to the example of Oprah and Obama, if Oprah has you in her circles and she shares your content and she's an authority in Google's world, then automatically you become the authority of whatever it is that Oprah shares about you. So it's not who you have in circles, it's who has you in circles. And how do you get the authorities to circle you? Now we get to the most important word, and that is engagement. And for some reason, engagement is very, very difficult for newcomers to Google+. And I see them all over the place. All they do is they self-promote rather than engage. So before we get into what engagement is, and then we'll show you a case study of the power of engagement, let me tell you what engagement is not. So engagement is not self-promotion. It's not a conversation that is all about you or your products or your services. And it's definitely not a call to action. No posting links to your website and not saying like, hey, I just have a big sale. This is not engagement. Engagement is actually serving and caring about others. It's pull marketing rather than push marketing, and it starts with you. And there are 4 levels of engagement. But before I dive into that, I really want to bring in Lisa, because Lisa has such a great story. And Lisa also started the course with me. I think, Lisa, was it 5 months ago?
Yeah, back in October. However many months ago that was. 5 or 6 months ago at this point. 5. Okay, 5 months ago.
5 months ago. She started 5 months ago, and she was a newbie to Google+. And she took a step-by-step course every day. She did a little task. And I really wanted you to share with us what happened. Why did you start going to Google+? Because you weren't there before. What did you think you're going to get out of it? Like, why did you start taking the course? And then what really happened? And then we're going to show a great example of something that you did that I love.
Okay. Well, I came to Google+ because honestly, I had tried social media and I failed like flat on my face, and I invested a ton of time, energy, and unfortunately money into social media and trying to get these programs and figure it out. What happened for me is I realized that it didn't work for me because I'm a communicator and I'm a connector, and those other platforms didn't work for me because how much can you communicate with a link or 140 characters or an image? And sort of Google+ was actually my last ditch effort. It was like, okay, this is the only one I have not tried yet. Maybe there's something I'm not getting here and there's something different. And that's when I joined the course that you were an instructor for, and you basically just gave every day. I think what made it safe for me was you said just 15 minutes. It's all you have to do, 20 minutes max. And I'm like, I can do that, no problem. So I just implemented, and this piece about engagement is so huge. And I think you're just, I mean, obviously you know, because you're the queen of engagement, that we are trying to use. So many people try to come over to Google+ and use it like Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn, and it doesn't work, and they wonder why they're speaking to a void. And they're like, well, everybody says Google Plus is this great thing. I'm not experiencing it. Well, it's because you're just don't understand how to use it correctly. It's not anybody's fault, but I was lucky enough to find a teacher in IFAT who really was my first Google Plus teacher. And I think that that's the problem, is people don't have the right guidance in the beginning to know how to use it. So that's
what was like on the trip? You came in because you're like, okay, I need to monetize, or I need to get my name out there, or there was, you know, not kind of like, okay, I need to actually engage with people on Google Plus, because that only wasn't.
Yeah. Well, I think what pulled me in at first was like, I think I can use this. I'm sort of a ham when it comes to video. So I knew I would like Google Hangouts. That was really my attraction, was like, ooh, I'm going to use Hangouts because I can do this and that. And I think I had heard in the back of my head there's this opportunity for monetization. I'm like, ooh, yeah, that would be so cool if I can do that. And I got in, and I'm like, oh my God. It's so much more than what you know what I mean? So like that was what lured me in, is I can make money, but yeah, I've made money and I continue to, but it's so beyond that for me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I love that, because a lot of people come in wanting to make money, and most of the people that are watching here today, we're going to talk about money. Don't worry about that. We'll get to the money. But what we're showing you a little bit, what I'm hoping that you're seeing, is that there is the money, but there's also another level to that. And let me just show you, because one of the things that everyone who comes to Google Plus and pretty new, they think, oh, I need, you know, 2,000 followers, 5,000 followers to get my post shared at least 50 times, or, you know, to get to 100 shares, I need to be like so many followers and so much stuff going on. And this is something amazing that Lisa did, that I love. There you go. So Lisa created a post on Google+. And the post title was actually about engagement. And she was asking, are you a Google Pluser or a Google Poser? Which I love. And she wrote these awesome, really, really long posts. And you would think people don't read on the internet. Well, wrong. They do. She shared an awesome, a great picture that's very engaging. And look at that, 178 shares, 257 plus ones, and 108 comments. And the people who are commenting, I must say, you know, are veterans in Google+. They're not like, you know, just newbies like Mark Trappigan and Dustin and Kristen and myself, and everyone here is, you know, people who have been here forever. And they are sharing Lisa's post. And then, Lisa, how many followers do you have?
Well, before that post, I had like 700 and something, and now I don't know, 1,000 and what is it, 1,100 or something. So from that post that was done on March 23rd, and it's now April 2nd, that was a leap in followers for me. And I had been, based on, I mean, this is straight from IFAT, who said, you know, follow the influencers, you got to engage with the influencers, and I've been doing that over the months. And that post somehow struck a chord, and many of those influencers then circled me back. That was it. So, followed me back, circled me back, however you want to say it.
No,
so that was cool.
Yeah, so what you're saying is like engagement allowed you to connect with the people that you wanted to connect with, and also have them put you in circles, so now you become an authority when they start sharing you, and obviously they are sharing you. So if you guys want to get real followers that mean something, not, you know, followers that will come to your Hangouts, followers that will buy your products, followers that will talk about you, the one thing that you need to do is engage. And I know, Lisa, you have to go because you have something, and I really thank you for coming.
And I was going to say one other thing that I did, and this is, again, because of IFAT and her teaching of how to continue engagement, because Google Plus really is about engagement. So now what I've done from that post, because it got so much engagement, is I'm now having a hangout next Wednesday called the same exact title, and I've invited in a couple of those influencers, Ronnie Bincer and Christine DeGraff, that I'm hosting them and letting them take it over so we can continue the discussion in Hangouts, which deepens the engagement, takes it from the post to the face-to-face, eyeball-to-eyeball.
I love it. I love it.
So that's all because of you, Yvette. That's all you're teaching. So yeah.
Thank you. And I was just sharing with Krystalle how much it means to me when people go through the steps and actually see results. Because it's heartbreaking when someone spends so much money and doesn't do anything with it. And so you guys are like a joy. So thank you for doing all that stuff.
Absolutely. I'm gonna hop out. Thank you. It's been fun sharing with you.
Thanks, Lisa. Bye.
So guys, I'm gonna jump in and share on this one really quick too, Yvette, because this is a very important topic, and I did the exact same thing as Lisa. I jumped into this going, okay, I don't know, there's something here, but this whole social media thing, I'm really over it. It doesn't work. But Hangouts, that's something I can do because, you know, we do video and stuff. So the same thing. So I started the training with the idea that, okay, I'm going to go and do some Hangouts, and that's just going to, you know, give me a little like shot in the arm, a little boost. But what I learned in this course is so much more, in the engagement. You know, before I took your trainings, I heard engagement. You know, I saw engagement, and what I equated that to mean in my head was, make sure I'm putting information on my wall. Right? Make sure there's something to share with people. It's so much more that. Engagement is real conversation. It's not what I thought it was. And once I discovered this, I've discovered how essential this is for success, not only in Google+, but in any social media platform. So this one piece, this engagement piece, is the most effective thing, and without it, nothing else works on Google+. And with it, everything else you do will be magnified so many times, not only on Google+, but in all of the other social media and all of the other business ventures you have.
I love that. You don't see me, but I'm nodding. So guys, let's dive in, because this was a little bit of an I want to give you a case study of why engagement is really important, and why you should really concentrate on engaging and learning how to do that. So let's dive into that. What is engagement? We talked about what engagement isn't. We talked about that it's not self-promotion, and it's not talking just about you, and it's not just sharing links to your site. So what is it? There are 4 levels of engagement. There's the +1, comment, sharing, and the highest level of all is Hangouts. And I'll touch a little bit on each one of those. So +1, if you're coming from Facebook, it's kind of like a like. You know, it's like, hey, I read it. I want to let you know that I read your post. Maybe I don't have time to respond. Maybe I'll come back later and comment, but I just want to let you know that I read it, I like it, and I have nothing to say. Comment, the second level of engagement, is actually you're taking time to share your thoughts and ideas and whatever that post raised in you. It moved you to a place where you want to say something, and that's a higher level of engagement. Now, LOL and smileys and hi and LMO, laughing out loud, all that stuff does not count as a comment. A comment, an engaged comment, means that you add something to the conversation. If the topic was interesting to you, say why. If you disagree, say why. Keep it polite. If you want to bring other people into the conversation, you can do that in the comment by mentioning their name. Mentioning is simply putting the plus sign and start typing their name, and you'll see it's going to become a link. And that will send them a notification saying, hey, Krystalle was talking about you, and then you can go to where she mentioned you, and you can see what she mentioned. So if she said something nice about you, if she just brought you to the conversation, if it's a post that she wanted you to see, that all happens in the comments. And sometimes those comments become conversations of themselves. 2 people inside a thread will have their own conversation out, you know, regardless of everything else that's happening. And it's amazing to see. It's beautiful. So second level of engagement is commenting. The third one is sharing. That means not only do I have something to say, but I find it so valuable that I want to share it with my own followers, with the people who look up to me for information. I want to share your content with them. That's the third level of engagement. And the fourth one is Hangouts, which is what we're doing right now. There are two types of Hangouts, and we'll talk about them in a second, but let's just define what Hangouts are. Hangouts are a free 10 to 15-minute video chat, and it allows you to have real-time communication between people everywhere, which means that you can take the Hangout from your computer to your phone to your tablet. You can take it on the go. You can use it as with video, without video. The conversation is following you instead you following the conversation. And the reason why Hangouts are the highest level of engagement is that because they happen in real life, face-to-face. So let me go back a second. So they happen in real life, face-to-face. And if we're honest here with ourselves, the most valuable currency that we have with each other is our time. And this is why I'm so grateful, guys, that you took the time today to watch this live and engage with us. Because there's nothing that I can give you in exchange for your time except my time and the best of me. And that's what happens in Hangouts. You invest your time in someone, may it be a stranger, may it be a mentor, may it be a friend, and this is the highest investment that we can make. And so we shouldn't take that lightly. When someone is hanging out with you, that means something. And because Hangouts connect people on all devices, there's another feature that you saw a second ago that allows you to call a phone from within a Hangout. So if we're having a group meeting, for example, and one of our group members is not available by video, they're on the road, they're somewhere else, we can dial them in to the Hangout just by starting to type their name. If they fill out their about profile correctly, their name is already going to be there, and all we have to do is call them, and they will hear the entire conversation that happens on the Hangout. So calling people in the US and Canada is free, but what we found is that if you're in Australia, for example, and you're calling a US number, that is also free. So you can be in a Hangout, if you're Australia or Europe, and you want to call someone in the US, just call a phone number, put their name in there, and that will ring on their phone, and you can have a conversation with them wherever they are, even if they're not in front of the computer or not able to have a video chat with you. So Hangouts come with many apps already installed, and I'm going to cover a few of them here. Hangout Toolbox is the app that allows you to brand your Hangouts, and you saw that when you were looking at Krystalle video. And let me go back to her a second, and you can see that Krystalle has her is using lower third, and she's basically branding her Hangouts. This was going to stay on YouTube for everybody to see even after the Hangout is over. So she doesn't need to tell people, hey, I'm Krystalle and this is my website. I'm Krystalle, this is my website, because we see it. And if we care about what Krystalle has to say, we will go and look up her website. So Hangout Lower Third, Hangout the Toolbox allows you to brand your Hangouts. And again, you know, this is pull marketing rather than push marketing. Screen share is what I'm doing right now. It basically allows you to share your screen so you don't have to use words to describe what a simple picture can show, like in this case. What's really great about this is that I can have many windows open at the same time, and all you'll see is the one screen that I'm sharing with you. Unlike GoToMeeting, when someone pops up in chat or different windows are open, then everybody sees that. We can have private conversations, and all you will see is the one screen I'm sharing with you. YouTube is really, really cool. YouTube allows you to watch a video inside the Hangout with everyone in it. So 10 people in the Hangout, we're starting to watch a YouTube video. If we pause the video, it pauses for everyone. It's as if we're sitting in the same living room watching a cat video together and seeing everyone's reaction in real time. If you think about this as a feature for coaching and teaching and demonstrating products that you can demonstrate live, that you can record a video, you bring a video into a Hangout. and you start playing it for your students, and you can pause it at certain points to make sure everyone is at the same page, or you can even use it for case studies or focus groups. Let's say you try to make a joke in a video, create a funny video, and nobody's laughing. So before you release it to the world, you can test it with 9 people on a Hangout and see their reaction to the video. And I can tell you, I had that experience lately with Krystalle, and it's very enlightening. It's very good. My favorite one is Google Drive. And Google Drive allows you to work on the same document with everyone in the Hangout in real time. So instead of sending back and forth Word documents or emails and waiting for clarifications and trying to figure out what the person is trying to communicate, now you can get it all done in one Hangout, and that document is available for everyone there. Now here's an important part about privacy. The person who initiated the Hangout is the one who owns the rights to Google Drive, to that specific document. So if I started the Hangout, everyone in the Hangout that's participating will have access to it until I, as the owner, decide to remove them from the sharing abilities. And why this is great? This is great because if you're working on secret documents or confidential information, and you're working with a team, and then one of the team member leaves, all you have to do to remove access to them is just remove their email from the sharing button on Google Drive. Whereas if you were sending documents, Word documents back and forth, they have the document with them, they can do anything they want with it even after they left your company. So if we're talking about companies and collaboration, there's a great app that's called Symphonical. And what Symphonical is doing, it really allows you real-time collaboration with everyone in the Hangout face-to-face. So there are different functions inside this app, like quick plan or SWOT analysis or your monthly review, and everyone sees the entire calendar. You can move notes around, you can assign priorities to the task, and you can assign people to the task. And this is available to you even outside of Hangouts. So if you have weekly meetings with VAs around the world, or you outsource to different people, this app will allow you to have everything in one place. You can have your weekly meeting on a Hangout, see everyone, and collaborate with them in real time. And this will actually shorten the amount of time that you have to be on a Hangout. There are a few videos that I have in these presentations that I can't share with you because on air you are not able to share YouTube videos for copyrights, but I'll share them in the notes later on so you can see what happens when you use Hangouts for real-time collaboration. Basically what it does, it really cuts down the meeting time and they increase collaboration, and they free you from business travel, which is what I love the most. So it gives you back time instead of flying to meet someone face-to-face using Hangouts. So now that you understand, now we understand the power of Hangouts and how they can stream our work, let's dive into Hangouts on Air. And Hangouts on Air is what we're doing right now, and they're exactly the same as Hangouts that are not recorded and broadcasted on YouTube, except that they're broadcasted live on YouTube and they're recorded and they're saved in your YouTube channel. So still 10 people can be inside the Hangout and million can watch. So right now we have Krystalle and me in the Hangout, and all of you are watching. Later on, you guys will be able to come into the Hangout and experience the Hangout from within, but still everybody else can watch. And you're not limited to the amount of people who can watch a Hangout on air. So basically what it does, it gives you your own web TV channel, and it's free, and it's your browser, and you can take it with you, and you can bring in anyone in the world. So you might say, okay, you see all these famous people have been using Hangouts. And you can say, well, this is great for them because every time Conan O'Brien is going to do a Hangout, everyone will come and see him, but nobody's going to see my Hangout because I'm just starting out. So I would try to convince you in the next few minutes that exposure and this kind of the exposure and the audience that these people get, I'll show you ways that you can get that. But what you really need to concentrate on is actually your audience. It's not just the exposure, it's actually building a loyal audience that will come to your Hangout, engage with you, spend their time with you, so that you can build a relationship with them and maybe eventually turn them into loyal fans and customers. And so, let me show you an example of why each one of us can do much better than these famous TV stars. And Crystal, did you hear about Lindsay Sterling before you and I were talking?
I love Lindsay Sterling.
You do?
Yeah,
Okay,
I found her on YouTube. You know what? I may have found her through a link you sent me, though.
Okay, awesome. So I didn't know about Lindsay Sterling until I saw someone in Google+ sharing. Oopsie, hold on a second. I was clicking on the wrong thing. Until I saw someone in Google+ actually sharing her information. And what I'm going to show you now is that everyone knows who Joan Rivers is. Rivers. I can never pronounce her name. And so the assumption is that because Joan is so famous, it's really going to be easy for her to come to YouTube, start her own TV show, and get thousands of views. And if you can see right here, the first interview, the first episode that she had was with Sarah Silverman, and she's funny. And so that one got 179,000 views. But from that point onwards, it's just dropping, like 5,000, 3,000. People are not interested. Whereas with Lindsay, 72 million views, 29 million views. Lindsay just plays the violin. She's not singing, she's not acting. She has really awesome videos. But she started because people told her that there's no audience for her art. Like nobody wanted to actually produce her and take her with them on the road. And she went to YouTube. And so one of the biggest questions is like, okay, what was the difference? What is Lindsay doing differently than Joan? What is she doing? The most important thing that she's doing is she's engaging. She's thanking her audience. She's commenting back. She's talking with them. She finds out what they like. She hears their request, and she becomes a part of their life. She becomes their favorite singer because there's a conversation going on. Whereas Joan, what she does is basically what she does on TV. She comes, she performs, she leaves. That's it. So the engagement is the one that actually gives all these views to Lindsay. Now let's do some mathematics and money. Lindsay also sells her records, her songs on Google Play and iTunes and different online stores. So if she sells a song for, let's say, 99 cents, and the lowest, the smallest video that she had, the lowest number of viewers was about 2 million. So if we say that 1% of her 2 millions paid 99 cents to download one song, that'll be $20,000 for just one song. These songs are like 5 minutes long, less. I'm sure she invests a lot in making them, but wouldn't you be happy with $20,000 for a 5-minute video that you create? So that's what she's doing. She's making money with YouTube without advertising, simply by engaging with people and actually building an audience. So you might say, okay, Ifat, this is not news. You're not telling us anything new because we all know that you can make money with YouTube. You know, it's the second largest website, the most viewed website. So that's no secret. This is nothing new here. And aside of that, most of the world still watches TV. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about TV. I don't know how many of you heard about Chromecast. But Chromecast is very similar to Apple TV. The only difference is that it's small and it costs $35. And so when it came out, it was sold out in I don't know, in a few hours. All the Chromecasts were sold out because it's so small. You connect it to your TV and you're basically casting your shows from your phone or your laptop onto the big screen. So you can watch movies, you can watch TV shows, you can take it to hotels and watch your own movies on the big screen and not pay for them. You can take them to presentations and conferences, and rather than projecting, you can connect your Chromecast and project and cast into the TV, whatever it is on your phone. So with this, what it means is that Hangouts can now be on your big TV. And so this might sound a little bit out there, but stick with me for a second and I'll show you how this can work. So if your Hangout show, you have a loyal audience that's following you, you might become the Hangout that they are watching at their dinner table. Rather they're tuning into CNN and yelling at the TV and screaming at them and, you know, like not being heard, they know that there's one person there that they engage with on Google+ that has a Hangout show that they care about and that they can come in and really engage with. So what this means is that you can take your questions live on the TV. And there's this app, it's called the Q&A app, that we were supposed to be using today, but not yet. We will be using if you guys are putting questions there. But there is the Q&A app, and the Q&A app allows you to take questions from the audience as they're watching you. So if they are casting their Hangout to their big screen TV and they're seeing you mentioning anything that kind of prompt them to post a question, they can put a question from their phone actually. They don't even need to log into their computer. From their phone, on their YouTube app, they can put questions. And what happens is you can, A, answer the questions live, and now we're moving to active viewing, or you can even bring them into the Hangout and talk to them face to face. And I'll talk about, you know, level of engagement. I mean, what is more engaging and loyal and, you know, ideal than that? So if you, and this is the question as they appear to the people from outside the Hangout. And when people are outside the Hangout, they can +1 the question that they want you to answer. And as the interviewer, the one who's running the Hangout, the questions that get the most +1s jump to the top. And so you can see what your audience really wants you to answer, really wants you to talk about, and you can provide better content and engage with them better. And so if you think this is very far-fetched, let me show you something. Dan McDermott talks a lot about politics. And when the George Zimmerman verdict came out, he created a Hangout about that. And it was really just when Q&A apps just launched. And he said, okay, let's talk about, you know, the verdict. Do you guys agree with the verdict, him being found not guilty? And people came into the Hangout and spoke about it, and people posted questions right here on the side, and here they are a little bigger, so you can see them, and other people are +1ing, and you can see the next questions are coming up. And what Dan was doing, he was saying, guys, everyone in this Hangout agrees with me. Is there anyone out there that disagrees with me so that we can have a great conversation? Now imagine that. Imagine there's a CNN panel that discusses things, but you have another point of view. Instead of tuning to CNN, you tune to Dan, who's talking about politics, really knows his stuff, and talking to him face to face, and maybe you change his mind, maybe he changes your mind, but a conversation happens about topics that are current, about news. That is amazing. I don't know any other way that you guys can do that. So what it means is that we're bringing Hangouts and our conversations into people's living room, and we will be building viewerships, loyalty, and dedicated fans that trust us enough to recommend us and recommend our products. So you might ask me, okay, great, but you know, it looks like that I can do everything on Google+ and on YouTube. What about my website? Well, don't dump your website just yet. What you should be doing is actually not driving traffic to Google+, but rather driving traffic to your website, where right next to your Hangout, you have a call to action. So if anyone is watching the Hangout and love what you're talking about, then they can click right here on the call to action and buy your products without you always having to mention them, because it's right there in their view the entire time. And let me show you how effective this is. I interviewed David Siteman Garland on my Hangout, and we talked about how to make money from web shows, which is what David has been doing for years now. And if you guys want access to that Hangout, just let me know and I'll send it to you. It was amazing Hangout, has like 4,000 views now, I think. And so on that Hangout, David launched his Talk to the Top. And because he offered so much value during that Hangout, he wasn't selling anything. He was just giving so much value. The last 5 minutes of the Hangout, he mentioned the Talk to the Top. And I shared his link right there next to his Hangout, and I became his top affiliate. That's all I did. I didn't send any traffic. I didn't send any emails. I didn't buy ads. I didn't do any of that. All we had was one Hangout. What happened, the people on the Hangout loved it so much that they shared it. And I was his top affiliate. And actually after that, I met also James Wedmore, that you guys are going to get access to his product if you want by the end of the Hangout, and Srini and Ryan Lee, and it became like a really nice way of meeting everyone online. So Posting your Hangouts on your website and putting a call to action right there and offering value is a really great and easy way, A, to boost your ranking in analytics, because people are spending time on your website watching your Hangout, which tells Google that your website means something. And they comment on your website, and you don't have to keep pushing products at them. There's a link right there that can drive the sales. How are we doing so far, Kristen?
You're doing well. You have a few different questions. Do you want to address them now or wait until?
No, let's wait. We're almost there.
Perfect.
So let me give you an example of that kind of stuff. And I'm going to share now in the event a link to my website where you can watch the Hangout as well as comment. And this is where we are going to share the link to jump into the Hangout and allow people to engage with us face-to-face. So if you want to switch there now, you're welcome to. If not, you can stay on the event page or wherever you are, and we'll continue. So we put a call to action, and we drove traffic to our website, and we saw how we can make money from YouTube and how we can have our own web show on the big screen on the TV and still engage with people. What do we do if we just came from Facebook? What happens if we spent years building an audience on Facebook and all our information now is on Google+? Do we just dump Facebook? I would say yes, but for those who don't want to, there is this app that I will give you a link to as well. And this app, what it does, it allows you to stream your Hangout live on Facebook. And not only that, it allows you to put your affiliate links or call to action or whatever it is that you want to sell right here on the button below the video, below your Hangout. And so what this means is that if you make your money from affiliate products, up until today, what you had to do is send people to that person's website, and you would be losing your traffic. So if I were to promote Krystalle's Hangouts, I will have to send them to her page, her site, and not have it on my own site, increasing my own analytics or my own visibility or my own information. If your audience is on Facebook, then what you can do is, instead of sending them to Krystalle's Facebook page, you can set it to your own page and stream Krystalle's Hangout on your Facebook page. So how does that allow you to build even more loyal fans in Facebook? You can become a video curator, a content curator. If you want to share with your audience a lot of information about nutrition and juicing and health products, you can become that TV stations that rotates, the live Hangouts. And instead of going to 10 different people, all they have to remember is come to Krystalle's page, Facebook page, and see the latest Hangouts that is happening there. And then Krystalle can customize it and send links to previous shows. But basically, her page becomes the one place to go to find all the information about health and nutrition. That app is super expensive. It's $2 to get started. And if you want a link to that app, let me know, and I'll share that with you as well during the Q&A. So we heard about all social media, how we can make money from social media and from our website and from our show, but we keep hearing that the money is really in the list, right? And we need to build our mailing list, and we need to get people sending them email and engaging with them and RSVPing. So what's really cool about Google is that if you are creating your Hangout as an event and you're inviting people to that, prior to your Hangout, Google automatically sends them an email and telling them, hey, Yifat is about to have a Hangout, do you want to go? And if you say yes right here, then automatically this Hangout becomes an event on your Google Calendar so that you never forget and you never miss a Hangout. And so what happened now? Basically, we reduced our to-do list because in one setup, in one event, we created an email campaign, we created a calendar reminder, we created an autoresponder message, all of that to our Hangout show. So we just removed tons of items from our to-do list. Don't you love that? Like my favorite time saver right there. So now that we have the audience and we talked about how to monetize that audience, let's talk about how we can make this professional. A word of caution, guys. This is the latest software that I have been playing with, and I will continue testing it. And until it's not great, I will not make it available because I want you to look great on camera. But I just want to show you what's possible. Okay. So this is an event that we moderated all from my laptop, and it was 3 live events. It was Social Good Summit. There was events all over the world, and we connected a local event in Austin to a local event in Brazil to a local event in New York. And we did all that through Hangouts. We had that projected on the screen, and we also at the same time ran it on the Mashable's website through live stream. What this tells you is that just like here, I was hired, right here, I was hired by the Office of the Governor of Texas to bring virtual audience into their local events. They do a lot of workshops for small business owners, and because they are small business owners, they can't afford to leave their job, their business, and come to an event. And so what we've done is that we set the Hangout to bring virtual audience into the live event and engage with the panel face to face. And we had people from all over the world. We had people from Australia, we had people from Europe. We like totally increased the spec of the people who participated and the connection that the Office of the Governor could have later on. The person that you're seeing in the picture is Mr. Sichan Siv, the former US ambassador to the UN, and we had an amazing hangout with him. He has a wonderful story, so if any of you wants to watch that, I'll share that as well. But what this means is that if you are in the business of putting on live events and people cannot afford the expense of traveling to your event and the cost of travel and the hotel and the meals and the time away from the job, you can increase the number of people participating with you by selling virtual tickets. It might be a little bit cheaper because you know, they're not taking any space at your location, but you will get more participants, more money, and they will save money and still be able to participate there. Now, this is usually how we see the news, right? We have 2 cameras, we have the title of what's going on, we have the logo of the stations, and whatever it is running on the bottom. And here is the latest software that we are playing with. This is a Hangout that my friend Elijah was running with Social Good TV, and he was interviewing Carrie and Dr. John Vanson about mini trends. They had a show here in Austin, and he was here in Austin. He came to my home studio, and we set it up exactly like that, and they had a 15-minute Hangout interview. Now you can set this up however you want. You can brand it however you want with your own logo, your own titles, anything that you want, but basically have it just as good as the TV stars. So first we learned how we can do better than them, right, with Lindsay. We saw that engagement can actually get us many, many more followers and a loyal audience. Now we can see how we can make it just as good as they do with branding our Hangout. And again, this software is in development. I'm just showing you what's possible so that you'll know, you start thinking of how can you use it and how can you use it in order to promote yourself, build your brand, and build your followers. This is the video. Okay, if this is the easiest way, guys, to make money on Google with Hangouts. It's called Helpouts, and it's available by going to helpouts.google.com. And basically, all you need is a listing right here, a banner, a little video that tells people what you're doing, description, qualifications. And people who come to helpouts.google.com and they search for whatever it is that you're offering, they can find you. If you're charging for it, Google will take the money from them, keep 20%, and transfer the rest of it to you. So you don't need an e-commerce, you don't need a website, you don't need a mailing list, you don't need anything except a listing on helpouts.google.com, and you can start monetizing your knowledge today. There's even a guy there who teaches how to shave. So you can teach anything that you want. Any skill that you have that you're really great at, there's probably 1 person in the world, 10 people in the world who want to learn how to do the same thing. And this website, helpouts.google.com, will give you the audience that you want because they're coming there. It's kind of like the Amazon buyers. They're coming to that website to find solutions to their problems. And a little advice, how to get started. Many people jump in and they start, they're putting their rates in there. They start charging for their skills because we're all professionals and we're all entrepreneurs and our time is very valuable. But a little bit of an advice is, if you really want to build an audience here, start offering your services for free at first. Get the reviews, get 5-star reviews first. Have a lot of people reviewing you, so that basically tells other people who might need to pay you later on that they're actually getting quality for whatever it is they're paying for, and they're not going to go straight to the cheap stuff. So if you want to get started with Helpouts, put up a listing, put up a video, put a banner, and start sharing your information for free. Build an audience. Again, it's about engagement in an audience, and then you can start charging for that. And I love Helpouts. Helpouts you can do on your tablet. You can give people help on your phone. You don't have to be locked to an office in order to make money with Hangouts. You can set your schedule, so you can say, hey, Monday and Friday between 1 and 2, this is when I'm available. So if anyone wants me, regardless of where I am, the Hangout is going to ring to my phone if I'm on the road, and I can help people there. The next thing that we're going to talk about, money, is Shop the Hangout. And Shop the Hangout, people have been talking about it a little bit lately. It's still in beta. It's still not available to everyone in the world. But it's amazing for retailers, because basically what it does, it allows you to connect your own shopping cart, your own e-commerce platform to your own products. Have a Hangout where you demonstrate how to use your product. In this case, it was a fashion show, so you can see how the clothes look on a model and actually talk to the model and talk to the designer and get ideas from them. They can see you and they can tell you, yeah, this might not fit you, it's not the right color, but maybe you want to look at, this clothes instead. But there's real live interaction engagement with the person who's selling something and you, the buyer, who's interested. And what's really beautiful about this is that this is available even after the Hangout is over. So you've done your Hangout, you're engaged, you explain everything about your product. People who come in afterwards and want to watch it, they can see the same outfit, the same description, and just click on the item that they want to purchase, and from there they just go and buy your stuff. It's still in beta, but this is where it's coming. So know the possibilities. So what have we talked about today? We talked about Hangout monetization, and here are a few other ideas that will allow you to monetize Hangout right now. You can coach, which is what I'm doing. You can coach a group, or you can coach more than 10 people if you open it up and do Hangouts on Air. And there are ways to have Hangouts on Air be private, and I'm teaching that in my courses. So you can basically put people in a circle and say, these are the only people that can watch my Hangout on Air, even though it's on air, it's on YouTube, and it's streaming live. Only the 100 people in this circle are able to see it and participate with it. Coaching is a great way to make money with Hangouts, especially if you already have an audience or already have clients. But think about that. This allows you to coach anyone in the world, anyone who has an interest in what it is you're teaching. Now you have a way to teach them face-to-face. Making money from your own web show. What I'm doing on every Thursday, basically having a web show where I'm having a guest and people can come talk to that guest. You can make money from that either by having people advertise on your show, either affiliate product that you're selling on your show, or guests paying you to be on your show if you build a loyal audience that follows you and is interested in what you're doing. Repurposing your Hangout is great because you can do one thing one time, just record a Hangout on Air, then turn it into a Kindle, subscribe it, turn it into a book or a blog post or articles. You can take the audio, make that into a podcast. You can cut it down to a few YouTube clips and use that to promote the long Hangout, because very few people actually sit down and watch an hour-long Hangout. To get them to do that, you have to entice them, and repurposing your Hangout, cutting them down to shorter clips, allows them to get a feeling to what's in the Hangout and then come and spend the hour with you. You can do Hangout on your own website, like we said, and do it as a sales page. Do it to sell something, whatever program you have, whatever product that you have, and we'll show you how to do that in a second. You can also launch your products with Hangouts. So if you have a new Hangout, a new product, instead of creating videos to promote that, have a Hangout, bringing your customers or bringing people and have them ask you questions live, and you can solve their objections as they go, and then take that video and use that as a sales page video, or trim it down and use it as a sales page video. This is a position that I think will become more and more needed, moderating Hangouts, because understanding the technology and managing it during a Hangout is one thing, and being a host is another thing. If you can do both things together, and Krystalle is an example here of someone who took a course and is now able to do that, not only for herself but for others. So this is a job where this is a role that if you master moderating Hangout, you understand the technology, you can now monetize it by offering your services to people who don't want to learn anything. They just want to show up and have everything going right. And if you decide to go there, let me know, because I know I'm going to need a few great moderators. And then finally, if you have a membership site, allowing your members to see you face to face and actually interact with you, not just like, you know, go to a meeting where all they have is your voice, but actually see you and get to ask you everything that they want instead of typing it, but talking to them. That adds value, and it will increase the life of your customer in your membership site, which we know is about 3 to 4 months. So thank you for sticking with me up till today, up till now. This is what we talked about today. We talked about Google+, what it is, and why you can't ignore it no more, that it's not Facebook, it's not LinkedIn, it's actually a platform that connects everything together. We talked about how your online life became exactly the same as your offline life, which means that those who know you is more important than who you know. We talked about the one word that will change everything that you do today, engagement, and we showed a case study, 2 case studies, one with Krystalle and one with Lisa, where engagement resulted in more followers, more shares, and eventually, I think also with you, Krystalle, it resulted in sales, right?
Yes, yeah, I was in a different screen answering, but yes, yeah, we've definitely increased our sales, and we haven't just increased our sales because we have a wider net, so to speak. We've met people who are watching our Hangouts, which are free, and recognizing, oh wow, this really is information we value and appreciate. Then they purchase after that. So even though we're not directly charging for those Hangouts, they are definitely a way to monetize our products and our business.
Love it. We talked about why exposure is a given, right? And we showed all the ways that you can get exposure to your Hangouts, whether it is on your website, on your Facebook, on Google+, on YouTube. And what you should really worry about is actually building your audience. And then we talked about what are Hangouts and how they can give you back your time by allowing you to work from home with anyone in the world. We talked about how they can free you from business travel and give you back those special family moments, football game if you're in Texas. We talked about increasing collaboration, real-time collaboration, any place, anytime, and with anyone. And I will tell you that I have team members that are not in Austin. Some are in Europe, some in Australia, some are here in California, that we are engaging in building products with Hangouts together. We showed you how you can do it professionally, just like TV stars, and how you can do it even better with them with engagement. And then finally, we talked about how you can make money from the things that you love to do. So the question that I asked you before, what is the one trick that allows you to double your comments on Google+? Krystalle, did you happen to see what people were answering?
Yeah, the answers were exactly the first answers I had when you asked me that question. So engage with other people's posts first. Make sure your post ends with an open-ended question or discussion topic. Write content that people care about. That's a good one. Ask a thought-provoking question or provide thought-provoking content. Ask questions and have conversations.
I love it. And so, sorry guys, you're all wrong. And what really is engaging. Remember, we're all about engagement here. So if you reply to each comment on your own post, that will double the comments on your own Google+ post. And it will build the relationships, and it will build a conversation. And it's very, very easy to do because all you have to do is reply on your own comments. So, but I'm glad that everybody has the same track mind because it shows you guys that you're no different. Everybody thinks the same. And what Google Hangouts force you to do is think a little differently, think a little outside the box, and not do the things that you've been trained to do in online marketing, where it is, you know, push your message out there. It's actually come back in, pull people, engage with them, and comment on whatever it is they're sharing. So finally, I would love for you guys, if you found this valuable, I would love for you to continue the journey with me. And what I have to offer you is the entire course that Krystalle and Lisa have taken, and they have paid over $2,000 for that course. And you guys get it for $447 today, which is even $150 less than what it would cost to take each one of them separately. So if you would like to continue with me today, then you can also get 20% off with this special coupon. Just type special 20. And the website to go to is g+go-to-gal/master-g+. And you will see all the modules that you're gonna that you'll be taking, whether it's authorship or the Hangout equipment, or how to build your audience, how to find your audience on Google+, how to engage with them, what are engaging posts, how to create conversation, circle strategies and circle management that are very important, and they are the basis of everything that you do on Google+. They will dictate your experience. All that in, like Lisa was saying, 5-minute videos that you can take every day a little bit and gradually build your audience and build your followers. And you're even going to get a few nice bonuses with that. So I'll share a different screen. And I see, Krystalle, you want to say something, so. No? Okay.
I do. Well, I can. I also wanted to share that everything you're sharing in these courses is so, I mean, like, you presented so much today, right? So for me, coming in, if this is the first time I'm hearing this, I'd be like, okay, my head's spinning. Like, there's so much information that just happened. My head's spinning. How on earth could I possibly, you know, do something with that right now? But the training it's a step-by-step training. It's done in chunks of 10 or 15-minute videos, and it, you know, like Lisa said earlier, it's just, you know, 15 to 20 minutes a day. It's very doable, and, you know, like, I didn't know anything about Hangouts before this. I didn't know I could make this little lower third. I didn't know about lighting and sound, and, you know, now I'm confident I can be on camera, on screen, feel good, and, you know, look nice and have a presentable video that I don't have to send off to an editor and spend a whole lot of money. And it's just like, I film it, it's done, it's posted on YouTube. It's amazing.
I love how it's that simple, and all you need to do, guys, is just get the technology out of the way. And after you get the technology out of the way, what you need to do is concentrate on finding your ideal audience. And what I'm doing right now, actually, you've seen me not look at the camera. I'm updating the link to join the Hangout on the website. I'm going to share that with you again. So if you guys want to join us and ask us any question that you have face-to-face, you're welcome to just click on the link that says join the Hangout, and you'll be there. And let me just show you what we're giving, you know, what you can get with that courses. So what you're getting with the course might seem like a lot of information. When we're learning about Google+, we're, first of all, the sense of community, because it's super important that you feel that you're supported and there's someone to talk to and you have companions for the road and the journey, and that you are a part of something, not just acting by yourself in the world of Google+ and trying to make sense out of it. So first of all, you're getting the community part of it. Then we're going to talk about the notifications and the settings, because you will get more popular and notifications are going to start coming, and I don't want that to overwhelm you. So we're going to talk about all the settings that you have to set up before you even start diving into Google+ and engaging. Module 3 will talk about your core story. Remember, we talked about how Google is moving more to semantic search. And semantic search means that Google is not looking for resume-like conversations, they're looking for real-life conversation. So how do you fill up your About page and your business page in a way that allows Google to know who you are, but also bring people and allow your ideal audience to find you rather than you just always going to find them? So this module is about semantic search and the ultimate online visibility. Then we're going to dive into establishing your authorship. How do you get your picture into search? What do you have to do to connect your own website to Google+? How that connection work? What plugins can you use on your own website in order to make everything easy and connect all the moving parts together, your Google+ page and your profile, and what if you have some guest posts? How do you get all that content to link back to you? Then we're going to dive into finding your perfect audience. There are like 7 ways that I can show you of how to find your perfect audience in Google+. And they're very easy. And they're very much fun because it is your audience, so you always have something to say and you always have a way to engage with them. After that, we'll talk about creating engaging posts, exactly what you saw that happened with Lisa. She created one engaging post that's amazing, got 178 shares, tons of comments. She had influencers circle her now because of that one post. How do you model that and do exactly the same so you can have the same type of interaction? Then we'll dive more into engagement and we'll move from the social platform into loyal fans. How do you turn people from just commentators on your post and just +1ers into loyal fans that share your content? And finally, if you remember the 9 dots that connect all of Google services together, what do they really mean and how do they relate to each other? So this is the Google+ course. This by itself is $274, the same as with Hangouts. But you can get both of them together for $150 less today if you go through that link. And then with Hangouts, again, the sense of a community. We'll talk again about what is the big picture of Hangouts and what you can do with them. And then we're going to dive into the nuts and bolts. We're going to talk about your gear and your settings and your lighting. And we're going to get the technology out of the way so you can be the best host that you can be and have those engaging Hangouts that, like with Krystalle, causes the audience to say, okay, I want to buy. Where do I buy? The 4th module is Hangout apps. Which apps should you use and when? Google events are very important. Like you saw, when you set them up, they can become your autoresponders and put your Hangouts on your audience's calendar so that you don't have to remind them. And then finally, more ways of making money with Hangouts. And you get a few bonuses that actually are the value of the course itself. One of them is the Hangout Heroes course that I did with James Wedmore. If you guys don't know James Wedmore, he is a super teacher of YouTube. He's been using YouTube forever. And this course is basically me teaching someone who is so familiar with this technology, knows what YouTube can do, how to integrate that with Hangouts. And so what it's teaching you is some of what James knows about monetizing videos on YouTube and some of what I know about Hangouts, and you get this fusion of both our brains in this course. You get that for free with this package. You're also getting 6 months of free updates because Google changes all the time. And so all the videos that you saw here will need to be updated. And if you buy them today, 4 months from now, Google might have changed something and you don't want to come back and look at all videos. I'll be updating them. You'll get 6 months of free updates as well as 6 months of access to my Inner Circle community. It's a private community on Google+ that has like-minded people that will support you, share you, advise you, celebrate your successes, hug you when something doesn't work right, and really help you become the best Hangout host and Google+ users that you can be. So there are these options. There are like 2 payment options. You can pay in full, and if you do decide to pay in full today, there's still 20% off with the special 20 if you want to use that. You'll get that 20% off on all of these options. But if you do decide to join us today and join with Pay with Full, I will personally look at your About page and help you modify it so that you are set with your authority and your rank and it's listed correctly so that Google knows what you're about and allows your ideal audience to find you. And I can only do that for 10 people, guys. I'm sorry, I don't have a lot of time. So if you're one of the 10, that's awesome. And last thing that is not written here is that the first 50 people that decide to join us today will be entered to win Google Glass. So if you ever wanted to get Google Glass and didn't have the $1,600 that it costs to get it, then you can be one of our lucky winners. So this is the page, and I hope if you have any questions, let me know. And with that, let's dive into the questions here. Hi, Allison.
How wonderful to see you. I just want to really attest to your knowledge, okay, for everybody that might be sitting on the fence, because I took the course, and I've got to tell you, EFAT really knows her stuff. And she's got so much integrity. The way that she delivers it and so on is pieced out in a way that's easy to understand and really easy to implement. So I just love continuing to learn every chance I get from you, EFAT. It's really fun.